Every year, more than 3 million crimes are registered in Russia, and it's only the tip of the iceberg. If we include unregistered and latent crimes, these numbers will increase dramatically. According to the All-Russian Center of Public Opinion Studies, 1 in 4 Russians himself or somebody in his family met a threat of personal security for the recent 2 years, and every 8th questioned got into such situation more than once. Take it off or I'll hit you. 54% of the respondents didn't ask for help when faced a dangerous situation because they considered it to be useless. Only 4% of the victims managed to restore the caused damage partly. Weakness of laws, indifference of the society and a refusal to cooperate with law enforcement agencies play into the hands of crime. A quarter of criminal cases collapsed in a court after the refusal of witnesses to give evidence because of their fear for their lives and health. About 10 witnesses die every year as a result of their consent to cooperate with investigation. And these are only proved cases. It's unknown how many witnesses were killed and registered as accidentally dead. We evidenced murder. They've beaten us and told us to get away. In December 2005, active citizens joined into a non-commercial social organization Soprotivlenie. The chief task of the social movement is to render legal and psychological aid to the victims of crime. To achieve these goals, Soprotivlenie uses all legal means and methods. Today, the booklets with help to a victim appeared in every metropolitan police station. These booklets contain recommendations and a step-by-step algorithm of actions, what to do if you happen to become a victim of a robbery, violence or even lawlessness of the police. More booklets, such as with help to a witness, help to a juror, with help to an investigator, leaflets and stickers are to be published soon too. Also, useful information will be duplicated on stands that will soon appear in the police stations and courts. Soprotivlenie online, hello. For urgent aid to victims, the movement opened a hotline. Experienced lawyers and psychologists receive calls. They can examine a problem on the phone and work out an algorithm of actions together with the victim. What to do if the police doesn't register the application, how to address yourself to the public prosecutor's office or to the self-security service. All the needed phone numbers of the controlling organizations will be suggested to you. The psychologist of the hotline will break into the conversation if the caller is shocked and can't explain what has happened to him. If the victim needs help to write and draw the documents, he will be invited to the reception room in the office of the movement. If psychologists notice a serious psychological trauma, then the victim will be invited to visit a club of mutual help.
Вы оставите нам свои координаты.
Let me write down your address and we'll work on your case.
И наша служба волонтеров будет с вами работать.
Правозащитное движение сопротивления. Здравствуйте.
5 days a week, 10 hours a day. Experienced psychologists and lawyers work in the reception room of Soprotivlenie, execution of documents, writing of applications, appeals to the supervisory and controlling agencies. Experts of Soprotivlenie can sort out any law and interagency details. Victims and witnesses of crime may count on total and free help. If a witness or a victim of crime feel fear and uncertainty communicating with the law enforcement agencies, Soprotivlenie will attach to him an attendant lawyer who will go with the victim to the police station, public prosecutor's office or to the court. And at every stage of the investigation, he will be defending interests and rights of a victim. A retiree called to Soprotivlenie. Someone took out wallet from her pocket. The pickpocket was caught, but the old woman didn't know what to do in order to get her money back. The volunteer of Soprotivlenie relieves. A student of University of Law explains how she should act according to the law and helps to draw up a civil suit to the court. Writing civil suit. Me, Kulishova Nina Alexeyevna. It seems to be simple, but Nina Alexeyevna says that she would never take the matter to the court herself. A lot of people still haven't even a thought of searching for protection of their rights there. Volunteer explained to her that she could not only take stolen money back, but also outweigh the moral damage. We estimate moral damage about 8,000 rubles. Yes, I felt upset. I'm a retiree, my pension is only 4,000 rubles and they took out 3,000 and I have to pay for public utilities and live. We work with people who have no big money for lawyers, and you always feel better when you help someone.
Усилия не прошли даром, и ты помог человеку.
Imperfect laws must be corrected to protect victims of crime, and to do that one should join the efforts of all public organizations, legislators, core agencies and the public chamber. One of the key moments of the activity of the movement is permanent and substantial work with the authorities. The action of Soprotivlenie movement correct the criminal law is one of the links between subjects of law. At the website of the movement, everyone can share his thoughts and notes concerning actual laws. Later, all these recommendations will be discussed during the meetings with legislators. To improve the situation concerning the rights of witnesses and victims of crime, the Soprotivlenie movement works with all state structures. After analyzing the legislative situation in Russia and abroad, human rights advocates advanced the initiative of the establishment of Code of Rights of Victims and Witnesses. State Duma and the Federal Council deputies heard the voice of human rights advocates. Crime victims often undergo blackmail and threats. Putting pressure on witnesses, crime suspects hope for a reduction of punishment and very often for termination of criminal cases. Human rights advocates showed the deputies statistics and information gathered by the movement and proposal to carry out a serious audit for the legislation in order to form clear algorithms of protection of victims and witnesses of crime. According to official statistics, more than 70% of citizens said that if they happen to be victims or witnesses, or if a threat to their lives or their relatives' safety appears, they wouldn't give evidence concerning criminal case. On the initiative of Soprotivlenie, interagency work group was created on the basis of the State Duma Committee. In order to help legislators, Soprotivlenie movement attracts experts of foreign human rights organizations from more than 30 countries all over the world. To consolidate public opinion in Russia, a discussion about protection of rights of victims of crime is raised in the key mass media. Victim is not wanted during trial. You were not lucky. You were robbed, raped, killed. You weren't lucky. If a doctor sends you to a morgue, it means you must be sent to a morgue. Have a rest. We have other people to deal with. We are not interested in you. And this person turns out to be among the unprotected sections of population. Within the next few months, the movement plans to start a series of educational programs on the radio and TV. A man who became a witness of crime or a victim should know that he is not alone and the society is on his side. The more people will know about their rights, the easier it will be for them to achieve justice. For this purpose, volunteers of the movement visit universities and even elementary schools. They are sure that this is the way the dual civil society is created. Starting with what age can we punish a person for committing a crime? 14? 16? A fourth-year student of law faculty came to the school to tell children about the basics of Russian law. At first, pupils treated a young teacher with distrust, but then they took a great interest. Rights, rules and laws, that's what you come across with every day. There is a great number of hot debates about this, whether we should introduce death penalty or not, and should we carry it into effect. What do you think? Who thinks that death penalty shouldn't be carried into effect? More girls than boys, strange. Friends once invited me to do that, once, twice, and I like this. I think it's not only a good experience for me, it's also a great help to people. Soprotivlenie online, hello? The history of this resistance started not so long ago, in the summer of 2005, but during this time they managed to do the things that the whole country was unable to do. Soprotivlenie movement made a cumbersome state machine move and started looking for the ways to help forgotten victims of crime. The movement worked out a mechanism of address and quick help to an ordinary man.
Я хочу сказать, что нас часто спрашивают о нашем названии.
We are frequently asked, why are we called resistance, сопротивление? What do you resist? We resist three things: wild outburst of crime, the fear of its result, and indifference within our society. Our solidarity will overcome criminality, and this is what we have to aim all our forces at.